We briefly talked about vaccines, but for people that maybe have never had that discussion before, all we hear on the news is the vaccine is the solution. It's the only solution. When we get it, you can have your life back, your job back, your sports back, your travel back. What do people need to know about that entire narrative and about the reality of vaccines?
So the reality, I suppose, of vaccines is that they haven't ever been safety tested. So people would not be aware of that. So safety testing would be a randomized placebo-controlled clinical trial. And for the last 60 years, they haven't really been safety tested. And also some of the most toxic ingredients are in vaccines. So in 1986, Ronald Reagan signed a disclaimer that even if the vaccines cause injury to people, they would not have to pay compensation. So it's a bit like a car manufacturer making a car without brakes. And if everybody, has serious consequences for driving the car, it's in America, the state is liable or any injury. So what people need to know is the vaccines are not safe. And a lot of the time they are not effective. And in addition, they have some of the most toxic ingredients. They did have mercury for many decades. They have aluminium, they have glyphosate, and they also have a lot of metal particles like borate and cobalt and steel and nickel, which should not be in the vaccines, and they irritate the immune system. And they're also made sometimes from tissues from other animals like monkey kidneys or dog kidneys. And how the vaccines are prepared is the virus could be grown on them, and then they're homogenized, but that the monkey tissue is in the vaccine that's then injected into the baby. But those animals have their own sets of viruses. And the monkey one has the simian virus 40, which is an oncogene that causes a lot of tumors in humans. So by injecting it, you're actually entering into the human body a whole series of viruses that would not normally get in there and that can cause then, cancers or chronic illnesses. And Judy Mikovich has worked in that. So the vaccines are not safe. They are often not effective. And the ingredients can irritate the immune system and cause neurocognitive decline. And potentially some of them have been shown to have agents that cause infertility.
And now they're saying they're going to rush through the vaccine they want to give to 7 billion people. When you hear those kind of terms, and when you hear some of the studies, some in Oxford here and these other things, and also some of the companies like Moderna and some of the people that own patents and the Gates Foundation, what do you see with all that?
So I think the clear message is that in 17 years, so SARS from 2002-3 was a coronavirus. They have tried to make vaccines that are safe. There isn't one in 17 years against a coronavirus. The common cold is a coronavirus. So the chances of having, and the reason why they haven't one on the schedule is that they have shown to be not safe. So a lot of the animals either got sick or died, or when they put them into humans and babies, that when they came across the next virus, there was serious illness and death. So this is a coronavirus. There are no vaccines to coronaviruses because they are not safe. So that's why people like me are speaking out. If they haven't made a safe one in 17 years, how can they possibly make a safe one in a few months? And they're not going to safety test it.
So when you hear a Fauci or a Gates say that this is the only solution and it's going to happen within 9 months, are they kidding themselves? Are they going to do it even if it results in a lot of death? Like, what is going through their minds when they say things like this?
So I suppose there is no vaccine for a coronavirus, full stop. And the reason, they're not safe. So I don't know why anyone would come out and say that, that we will make a vaccine against the coronavirus. And the reason why it's not safe is it seems to prime the immune system, that when you come across a coronavirus in a vaccine, that you build an immune response. But when you come across a coronavirus in 6 months or 2 years later, that your body has this firestorm of an immune reaction that makes people very sick, and some people can die within a very short period of time. And why it's incumbent on people like me to speak out is that whoever decides to get that vaccine, they need to be tracked so that if they then start falling very ill or die, that people will make the connection. And we also, so I have said in Ireland is that if they're coming out with that vaccine and they're not putting the patient information leaflet on it, or the government is not going to hold people to account, that I will take a case against that vaccine being given out, particularly, as part of their free program or in the schools, that if people individually want to sign up for that vaccine and they have full informed consent, they can, but the government cannot be mandating it or cannot be saying you have to take this vaccine to re-engage in, to travel or to work, and that's where the philosophy around freedom, that people are not educated really anymore to the school system, that we have inalienable rights to free speech and to travel and to work and freedom of assembly, and also to, engage to provide for our families, and we have an inalienable right to bodily integrity. And so that's why as well, the idea of quarantining healthy people has never been done over the millennia or centuries, and it's entirely wrong, because you can quarantine people who want to stay at home, or if they're afraid, they can stay. But healthy people like me, I shouldn't be quarantined. And that is potentially illegal in a lot of countries, and it's unwarranted. I think in the United Kingdom, out of a population under 60 of 40 million people, you have maybe 400 people that have died due to coronavirus. So that's much less than the risk that people take every day traveling to work. And we all, will die eventually. There is a risk when you go outside your door or when you drive a car, but the risk of dying from coronavirus, was say in the UK or Ireland, if you're under 60, is much less than the risk you take driving to work. And the government have to step back and allow individual people to take those risks themselves, and also to know that they can look after their health and reduce the risk enormously.